God said, before the 18th of October, 4 things will happen. Not by coincidence, not by human plan, but by divine orchestration. The heavens are moving, the atmosphere is changing, and what has been hidden is about to be revealed. There are moments in history when time itself feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for heaven's decree. You are living in one of those moments right now. For many of you, this word is not a message, it is a lifeline. You have felt the shaking, the delay, the unanswered questions. You've asked God, when will it be my turn? You've watched others rise while you stayed in the shadows, holding on to faith that seemed to fade with every passing season. But God said, I have not forgotten you. The silence was never punishment. It was preparation. Every prayer, every tear, every sleepless night has been recorded in the book of remembrance. Ibrokwi. And now, heaven is responding. The trumpet of change has sounded in the spirit. The winds of transformation are gathering force. Before the 18th of October, the divine clock will strike, and what was once delayed will begin to move. This is not a motivational word. It is a prophetic announcement. God said, tell my people, I am about to move suddenly. What you couldn't make happen in 10 years, I will do in one moment. What doors refused to open by effort will open by command. What was dry will flow again, and what was broken will rise in beauty. For I am the God who redeems time. Fibruchri, listen carefully. Before the 18th of October, the first move will begin. It will be subtle at first, like a whisper, a small sign, a shift in the air. You will sense it before you see it. Something within your spirit will awaken, a knowing that something divine has been released. God said, this is the season where I turn mourning into movement, where the wilderness becomes the way. What seemed impossible is now on heaven's schedule. You may not have seen any evidence yet, but in the invisible realm, plans are already unfolding. Angels are aligning paths, hearts are being stirred, and divine instructions are being whispered to those connected to your destiny. Ibruki, you thought you were behind, but heaven says you are right on time. You thought the delay meant denial, but the delay was divine design. I held you back to launch you forward. I hid you so I could reveal you with glory. I allowed certain doors to close so the right ones could open without resistance. Many have looked at your life and wondered if your season had passed. But God says, they will soon see that my timing is perfect. Before the 18th of October, there will be signs that can't be explained. Sudden favor, unexpected calls, long-forgotten opportunities returning. People who overlooked you will begin to seek you. What was once a prayer request will become a testimony. Shebra, do not fear the shaking, for the shaking is proof that I am working. The ground must move before the seed can break. The storm must come before the sky clears. You prayed for change. Now watch as I begin to move the pieces into divine alignment. The Spirit of God says the first of the 4 changes is reversal. I am reversing the verdicts that were against you. Every no that the enemy declared will be turned into a divine yes. Every limitation spoken over your life will lose its power. Where you were rejected, you will be selected. Where you were last, you will be brought first. This is not human promotion. This is divine exchange. See, brother, there are those who plotted against you, but I have seen it. And what was meant to harm you will serve you. The trap they set will become the platform I use to lift you. You are about to witness the reversal of circumstances so dramatic, even your critics will know this was the hand of God. You have cried in private, but joy will come publicly. You have suffered in silence, but restoration will shout your name. Watch how I turn every loss into a lesson, and every delay into destiny. Abraham, do not doubt the timing. Heaven does not operate by your calendar, but by divine order. You are stepping into a window of favor. Short, specific, sacred. Before the 18th of October, watch how the impossible begins to unfold before your eyes. For I am the God who speaks once and fulfills twice, once in heaven, then on earth. My word does not return void. It travels through time, touching what concerns you, rearranging outcomes, shifting realities. When I said, let there be light, creation obeyed. When I say, it is your time, no force can hold you down. This is not the season to fear. It is the season to prepare. For when I move, acceleration follows. Things that were slow will suddenly speed up. Processes that were stuck will leap forward. The dry ground will bloom again. The second divine move will be release. God said, I am releasing what has been held back. I am breaking the barriers that stood between you and your promise. For too long, there have been things tied up, blessings trapped behind invisible walls, prayers that seemed unanswered, favor that never reached you. But heaven is now declaring, let it go. The word of release has already been spoken, and once I speak, nothing can remain bound. Many of you have felt like something has been blocking your progress, not visible, not physical, but spiritual. You worked hard, you prayed, yet things didn't flow. But God says, it was not because you lacked effort. It was because I was preparing capacity. You cannot pour rivers into a cracked vessel. I had to heal you before I filled you. I had to stretch you before I blessed you. Now the time of release has come. Before the 18th of October, expect movement. Not random, not ordinary, but supernatural. What was stuck will start to move. What was closed will start to open. And what was denied will now be delivered. You will see signs of release in the smallest of details. Phone calls you didn't expect. Messages that seemed too perfect to be coincidence. Opportunities teach at a line without your effort. God said, this is the hour where I release what belongs to you. Finances that were blocked, peace that was stolen, relationships that were broken, I am restoring flow. Just as the Red Sea parted at the command of my voice, so too will the barriers before you part. Do not be afraid of what looks impossible. The same hand that opened the sea is opening your path now, and this release will not come quietly. It will come with evidence. Those who doubted you will have no choice but to recognize that it was I who moved in your favor. There will be testimonies that carry your name, and people will say, surely the Lord has done this. There are resources with your name on them that have been locked away. I am releasing them. There are opportunities that were postponed. I am reigniting them. There are connections you thought you lost. I am realigning them. For this release is not just about receiving. It is about recovering everything that was lost. You thought the season had passed, but I am showing you that time cannot steal what I have ordained. My word is timeless. My promise does not expire. And when I release something, it comes multiplied, not measured. So prepare yourself. The doors you are about to walk through will not require struggle. They will require readiness. What used to exhaust you will now flow with ease. For I am changing the rhythm of your life from survival to overflow. Do not question the pace at which I move. When I release, it will happen suddenly. There will be days when you wake up in confusion, wondering how everything shifted overnight. That is how I work. When it happens, it will happen quickly. Many will say it came out of nowhere, but you will know it came from my throne. The same hand that formed you in the womb is the same hand that now opens the way before you. For years you carried heavy burdens, waiting for something to shift. And while you waited, I was working in silence. The pressure you felt was not punishment, it was preparation. Like gold refined in the fire, you were being purified for greater glory. And now, the refining is complete. It is time for the release. You will notice peace returning where there was anxiety. You will feel strength rising where there was weariness. You will see doors open that once mocked your prayers. The signs will be unmistakable. Before the 18th of October, what you have been praying for will begin to show itself. Not all at once, but in divine progression. Like rain starting with a drizzle before the downpour, the blessings will begin to flow in increasing measure. I am releasing strategies, divine ideas that will create increase. I am releasing favor, people positioned to assist you without knowing why. I am releasing clarity, direction where confusion once ruled. Bro, this is not a small release. This is a divine outpouring. The kind that turns deserts into rivers and scarcity into surplus. You will feel like you are living in ANS, word prayers, because you will be. Do not hold on to fear when the shift begins. When I release something, it will sometimes pull you away from what feels familiar. You will sense things changing around you, relationships, locations, assignments, but do not resist. The release always comes with rearrangement. What leaves your life in this season was never meant to stay. Let go with faith, and you will see what I'm making room for. For I am the God of divine exchange. I never take without purpose, and I never move without meaning. You will begin to notice alignment where there was disorder. You will find yourself at the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, hearing the right words. This is my orchestration. This is my release. And as this second move unfolds, you will realize something profound, that everything you lost in the waiting was never wasted. It was part of the story, part of the shaping, part of the preparation for this moment. So lift your eyes, for the season of release is not coming. It has already begun. You will feel it before you see it, and when you see it, you will know. This is what I was praying for all along. There comes a moment when heaven decides that enough is enough, when silence breaks and the unseen becomes visible. You are stepping into that moment now. The veil is lifting. What once seemed confusing will soon make perfect sense. There were seasons where you prayed for understanding, but all you heard was stillness. You wondered if God had forgotten you. You felt like your prayers were echoing back without answer. But what you didn't see was that heaven was aligning the pieces, writing a story that required silence before revelation. You were not being ignored. You were being instructed in patience. Now the light is about to break through the clouds. In the coming days, revelation will unfold like pages turning in a divine book. The questions that haunted you will begin to fade because the answers will no longer be hidden. You will understand why certain doors were shut, why some relationships couldn't last, and why certain paths became too heavy to walk. Every no was guiding you toward a greater yes. Every delay was preparing you for divine timing. When revelation comes, regret disappears because you will finally see how every setback was actually set up for your breakthrough. You will begin to notice divine patterns, small confirmations that feel too precise to be coincidence. The message will come through a moment, a word, a sign, or even a silence that suddenly speaks volumes. God does not always reveal with thunder. Sometimes he reveals with peace. The same peace that quiets a storm outside begins to calm the storm inside. And when your spirit is quiet, revelation becomes clear. Some of you have been chasing clarity through people, through approval, through noise, but clarity doesn't live there. It lives in stillness, in surrender. When you let go of the need to control, revelation flows like water. You will see that what once broke you actually built you. The betrayals, the disappointments, the unanswered prayers, they were never evidence of God's absence. They were the classroom of revelation. You are being trained to see with spiritual eyes. Revelation will teach you that not everything that leaves your life is a loss. Some departures are deliverance. Some endings are divine beginnings in disguise. God was never taking something from you. He was clearing space for something that truly belongs. You will soon look back and realize why certain people had to leave. You will thank God that some doors didn't open when you begged them to, because if they had, you wouldn't be where you are now. There is a revelation coming that will settle every doubt. It will reveal who was for you and who was never meant to walk this journey. It will show you what was holding you back and why it had to break before you could build again. You will see that what looked like rejection was actually redirection. Every disappointment was divine protection. God was saving you from lesser things to prepare you for greater things. This revelation is not meant to scare you. It's meant to free you. You will begin to release the past without bitterness. The memories that once hurt will start to heal. Because when you finally understand the why, the what no longer holds power over you, revelation will heal your perspective. It will transform pain into purpose, tears into testimony, and confusion into clarity. You are about to see things that were hidden. You are about to hear what your spirit has been waiting for. You will understand that nothing was wasted. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment was part of a divine sequence. What you thought was random was actually orchestrated. God is revealing the strategy behind your struggle. He is showing you that your waiting season was never empty. It was sacred. Hebrew. When revelation comes, gratitude replaces frustration. You will stop asking, why me? And start saying thank you. Because now you'll know it had to happen this way. The pain that almost broke you became the pressure that shaped you. The confusion that almost crushed you became the soil where your faith grew. You were never abandoned. You were being prepared for this unveiling. And when the revelation fully arrives, you will look back at this exact time and say, that was the turning point. That was when everything shifted. That was when God spoke and the earth obeyed. Before October 18th, the impossible will begin to make sense. The unseen will begin to unfold, and the promises will start to breathe. This is not wishful thinking. It is divine unveiling. Hold this truth in your heart. What God reveals, He also redeems. Every piece of your story, even the broken ones, are being rearranged to show His glory. You will soon see why nothing happened the way you planned, because something better was always written. Stay still, stay expectant, stay faithful. Revelation is not coming, it's already on its way. Where our restoration is not about returning to what once was. It's about stepping into what was always meant to be. When heaven restores, it does not give back the same, it multiplies. You are about to witness the kind of restoration that rewrites your story, the kind that proves that what was lost was never wasted. There were seasons where you felt stripped, emptied, forgotten, but what looked like loss was really God clearing the ground so He could rebuild you stronger, deeper, unshakable. Everything that fell apart is being gathered again, but this time with purpose. Every broken dream, every stolen opportunity, every closed door, they are all finding their way back in divine order. The hand of restoration is moving, unseen yet unstoppable. It will come through unexpected people, unusual moments, and silent miracles. What was once broken will stand again, not as it was, but renewed. This is the season where what you sowed in tears will return in joy. The prayers you whispered in pain are now echoing through eternity, returning with answers. You thought you lost time, but God is restoring even that. What should have taken years will now take moments. There will be acceleration, divine speed. The same hand that held you in waiting is now releasing you into winning. You will feel it in your spirit before you see it with your eyes. A lifting, a shift, a quiet confidence that what was once delayed has been released. Abrowi, you will also notice the restoration of peace. The noise that drained you will fade. The anxiety that ruled you will lose its grip. Peace will settle like dawn after a long night. It will not come from things or people, but from the quiet assurance that God is working. He is restoring your inner strength first, because restoration always begins within. When your soul is restored, everything else follows. Some of you will find restoration in relationships, not necessarily with the same people, but through healing, through forgiveness, through closure. You will finally feel free from what used to weigh you down. Others will see restoration in purpose. The ideas you buried will come alive again. The fire you thought had gone out will start to burn brighter. You will feel inspired again to build, to create, to believe. The closer you come to restoration, the more the enemy will try to distract you. Do not let noise steal your focus. The battle intensifies before the blessing appears. The enemy cannot stop what God restores, so he tries to distort how you see it. But you are wiser now. You know that distractions are proof of direction. So guard your peace, guard your faith, guard your focus. This restoration will not just touch one part of your life, it will overflow. Spiritually, you will feel renewed. Emotionally, you will find stability. Financially, things will begin to align in ways you couldn't orchestrate. Opportunities that vanished will suddenly reappear. People who once overlooked, you will now recognize your value. The doors that were locked will open effortlessly. This is not luck, it's divine recompense. Hebrew restoration means God remembers. He has not forgotten your sacrifices, your faithfulness, your tears. Every unseen act of obedience was recorded in heaven, and now heaven is responding. You will begin to see the return. Not just double, but pressed down, shaken together, running over. It will happen in such a way that even those who doubted you will say, only God could have done this. But remember, restoration requires readiness. As God gives back, stay humble. As He promotes, stay grounded. As He blesses, stay thankful. Pride blocks what gratitude multiplies. The same hands that receive must remain open to give. Because restoration is not just about you being lifted. It's about you becoming a vessel that lifts others. There will be moments where you'll sense a holy unease, not fear, but awareness. That's God reminding you not to settle for less than what He promised. You will feel a pull toward things that truly align with your calling and a release from what no longer fits. Follow that pull. It's the compass of restoration. And when it happens, when you finally see what He's been preparing, you'll realize that the waiting was worth it. You'll stand in the very place you once cried over and see beauty where ashes used to be. You'll remember every sleepless night, every silent prayer, and you'll say, now I understand. It had to be this way. Before the appointed day, the four divine moves, reversal, revelation, and restoration, will converge. Heaven's timeline will meet your reality, the pieces will connect, the doors will open, and the promises will breathe. What was taken will return, what was broken will heal, and what was delayed will accelerate. Not by chance, not by power, but by divine design. So stand still and let the wind of restoration surround you. Breathe it in. Feel the weight lift. The story is not ending in loss, it's ending in fulfillment. You are about to see why it all had to unfold this way. The God who began the work is finishing it. Perfectly, beautifully, completely. And when you walk into that new season, remember, restoration is not the end. It's the beginning of everything you were created for.